Welcome to Spam Filter for Your Brain, bite-sized ponderings on how our thoughts influence our behaviour and our lives, and because we're all connected, how our thoughts impact the world. I'm here to help people reconnect with their bodies and declutter their brains. And I don't believe that we should just magically know how our emotions and our thoughts impact our lives if no one ever teaches us. So let's learn this stuff together. Something I often hear from people when they are trying to be welcoming and inclusive is, I don't want to be judgmental, or I shouldn't be judgmental. And one of the very first things I learned when I was in training to be a counsellor was that we're all judgmental, and calling yourself non-judgmental or saying that you shouldn't be judgmental actually just ignores the kind of judgment that we are taught and socialised into. And if we are saying that we are non-judgmental, we are immediately putting ourselves on a pedestal, like we're not one of the bad people. And it also means that we are not acknowledging the kind of things that we have been taught, have absorbed, and our own personal prejudices. Now, the problem with us not acknowledging what's going on for us, and the problem with not acknowledging our own socialization, is that if we are then called judgmental, even if it's by ourselves, we become defensive because we all want to be the good people. And so calling ourselves non-judgmental or saying that we're not the kind of person who would judge somebody else immediately makes us create this kind of barrier towards our own learning and towards actually becoming more inclusive and being willing to listen to where we might have messed things up, or we might not have done things in a way which is as inclusive as we might have liked. Being non-judgmental is actually just a myth, but it's not completely gone to waste. What we can do is when we notice ourselves, and I think I notice this in a lot of people, is that desire to go, I'm not a kind of judgmental person, or I don't want to be someone who judges others. That is a little highlighter point to go, what is there to learn here? What am I defending myself against? What has my brain just veered towards and I'm trying to rein it back from? To change that sense of judgment into a sense of curiosity can offer us some real learning to be able to open up our hearts and our brains and our actions towards being more inclusive towards more people, and of course, towards ourselves. We can't stop ourselves from judging, but the irony is that we get quite judgmental about ourselves for being judgmental. And that's something that we can kind of put brakes on when we notice that that's what we're doing. And observance is the first step in trying to create any sustainable change. Judgment is protective, it's defensive, it's you wanting to be one of the good people. And curiosity is expansive, it's inclusive, it's more what haven't I seen or heard yet. So using judgment as a little mark in the sand to go, okay, what's going on around here, can mean that judgment is actually quite a useful thing for us to notice that we are doing. The skill of shifting I've done something wrong, or you've done something wrong, into an expansive, okay, what else could be possible here, is the skill, I believe, of transforming conversations into a place of shutdown or finger pointing or spiky arguments into a place of how can we see more from the other person's perspective, and so that we can build a world which is more kind and compassionate to other people's lived experiences. Curiosity is a way to create empathy, and that is something which I believe is very much needed in the world right now. So next time you catch yourself thinking that you're not a kind of judgmental person, or you hear someone say that they don't want to be judgmental, note it, take a breath, look around, see what else might be going on here, and see where there could be some learning to be had. I'll speak to you next week. What you're hearing on the podcast, you will love Self-Care School. Self-Care School is longer versions of this, more in-depth and more personalised. We have a whole hub of courses from body image to boundaries, perfectionism, time management, and a whole range of other topics. You name it, there's probably a course on it. But most importantly, we also have a weekly group coaching call where you get to apply this stuff to your everyday life and get support to try and untangle your own story from some of the emotions that you might not be enjoying in your life. If you would like to learn how to apply this work to your specific situation and to be building a life of your dreams, I would love to see you inside. Do pop over to selfcareschool.co.uk.